As we enter this holiday season and as we prepare to celebrate Christmas, I've been wondering, is December 25th really Jesus's birthday? Hi, I'm Jana Rentzel, and I thought I'd take a moment to reflect not just on this question, but also on what it could mean for our faith and for our lives. First, regarding the historical side of this question, the Gospels of Matthew and Luke give us a few details about the birth of Jesus, although between these two Gospels, there are significant discrepancies among some of those details. But interestingly, neither Gospel mentions a specific date of Jesus's birth. In fact, the early Christians did not initially even celebrate Jesus's birth. It was only centuries later, in the 4th century, that December 25th became designated as the date that Jesus's birthday would be celebrated. Now, some scholars suggest that this date may have been chosen to coincide with the Roman festival of the winter solstice, a time when the days began to grow longer and light began to return to the world. Other scholars believe that it was a way for Christians to proclaim Jesus as the light of the world in the midst of darkness. But in any case, does it really matter whether December 25th is the exact date of Jesus's birth? When we gather together with loved ones on Christmas Day, are we celebrating a date on the calendar, or are we honoring something far more meaningful than that? You see, Christmas is not merely about a historical event. It's actually about the mystery of God's love breaking into the darkness of our world. Christmas is the celebration of God coming to dwell among us, not in power and majesty, but in humility and vulnerability. And so, regardless of when Jesus was born, what we remember and rejoice in is that God became one of us so that we might share ever more fully in God's divine life. And so I want to invite you to focus on the true heart of the Christmas message, the true miracle of Christmas. And that is that God is with us, closer than our own breath, meeting us in our everyday lives, bringing hope to the hopeless, peace to the restless, and love to the lonely. After all, every time we open our hearts to God, every time we show kindness, forgiveness, compassion to others, every time Christ is born anew in our lives and in our world. And so Christmas is a profound invitation to let the light of Christ shine in and through us, dispelling darkness and fear. So whether or not December 25th marks the exact birthday of Jesus, let's not lose sight of the true significance of Christmas. Let's live the true meaning of Christmas. After all, the world is longing for hope, for healing, for light. This is what Christmas brings to each one of us. And it's what Christmas calls us to share with others. And so this year, as you gather with family and friends, as you enjoy the twinkling lights and listen to familiar carols, remember that Christmas is not just a date. It's a living reality. A living reality. It's an ongoing, ever-present, living reality. Christmas, the celebration of Christ's birth into this world, Christmas is a reminder that God is always entering into our lives, into our struggles, into both our joys and our sorrows. And Christmas is inviting us to do the same for those around us. And so the question is not so much, is Christmas the actual birthday of Jesus? Rather, the real question is, will we allow the Christ to be born in us today and every day? Will we allow the Christ to be born in our heart of hearts, within us today and every day? And so in the coming days, may our hearts soften and become open to receive the gifts of love and peace and hope. Those gifts that the Christ brings to us in each and every moment. And may we go forth to share those gifts with a world in need. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. May the love and peace of Christ dwell in your hearts always. Amen. May it be so.